Hey everyone, welcome to Read and Learn English. I'm Mr. Ang, and today I want to share a very powerful story with you. 5 months ago, I couldn't speak even one full sentence in English, not even, "How are you?" without thinking too much. I felt confused, stuck, and honestly, a bit hopeless. But today I can speak English clearly, confidently, and naturally. And I want to show you exactly how I did it. And no, I didn't spend money on expensive classes. I didn't travel to an English-speaking country. I didn't waste time on boring grammar books. This is not just my story. If you've ever felt frustrated with English, this could be your story too. I was where you are now, but I changed, and so can you. Let's go back to the beginning. Chapter 1. The Wake-Up Call. I still remember the day that changed everything. It was a normal afternoon. I was sitting in my room, scrolling through my phone. Suddenly, a video popped up on YouTube. It was a young man speaking fluent English with so much confidence. He was not from America or the UK. He looked like someone from my own country. But the way he spoke made me stop and listen. I could not believe how good he was. I felt surprised. I also felt something else. I felt ashamed. At that time, I had been trying to learn English for many years. I studied it in school. I read English textbooks. I watched English movies. But when someone asked me a simple question like, "How are you?" I became nervous. I forgot all the words I had learned. My heart beat fast. My mouth stayed closed. I was afraid to speak. I was not confident. And that day, after watching the video, I finally said to myself, "Why can he speak so well and I cannot?" That question stayed in my mind. I could not stop thinking about it. I started to feel angry, not at him, but at myself. I knew I had wasted many years just learning grammar rules. I had memorized vocabulary, but I never used it. I only studied English like a subject, not like a real language. I realized that I needed to change my way of learning. Later that evening, I looked in the mirror and said, "This is it. No more waiting, no more excuses. It's time to really learn English." That was my wake-up call. I knew it would be hard. I knew it would take time, but I also knew I could do it if I worked hard every day. That night, I opened a notebook and wrote a promise to myself. In 5 months, I will speak English with confidence. I will not be perfect, but I will be strong. I will practice every day. I will not give up. I wrote this with all my heart. I didn't know how I would do it yet, but I knew I had to try. The next day, I deleted all the games and useless apps from my phone. I followed English learning channels on YouTube. I changed the language on my phone and computer to English. I started to listen to English songs and podcasts. I wanted to surround myself with English all day. I knew I had to make English a part of my daily life. At first, it was difficult. I didn't understand many words. I had to pause and repeat videos many times. Sometimes I felt tired, but I remembered my promise. I reminded myself every day, "This is your chance. Don't waste it." That first week was not easy, but it was powerful. I began to believe that I could really change. I began to believe that English was not something only special people could learn. Anyone could do it, including me. That was the beginning of my journey. The wake-up call changed my life. It gave me a new goal. It gave me hope. I was ready to start. I was ready to learn English, not just with my brain, but with my heart. Chapter 2. The Dream That Failed. Before I started learning English the right way, I had a dream. I wanted to get a better job. I wanted to travel to other countries. I wanted to talk to people from all over the world. And I knew that English was the key. So I made a plan. I bought English books. I downloaded grammar apps. I joined a local English class. I told myself, this time I will do it. For a few weeks, I was very serious. I studied hard. I read grammar rules every day. I tried to remember difficult words. I even made flashcards. But something felt wrong. Even though I was studying, I was not improving. I still couldn't speak English clearly. I still felt scared to open my mouth. I could write a little, but I could not talk. I didn't feel confident. One day, during the English class, the teacher asked me to speak in front of everyone. My hands started to shake. My mind went blank. I could not say even one full sentence. My classmates looked at me, waiting. But I just stood there, silent. After the class, I felt so embarrassed. I thought, why am I still so bad at English? What am I doing wrong? That night, I sat alone in my room. I looked at all the books on my desk. I looked at my flashcards, my notes, my study plan, and I felt sad. I had worked so hard, but I still couldn't speak. My dream felt far away. I started to think, maybe I will never learn English. Maybe it is not for me. Maybe I should give up. But deep inside, a small voice said, don't give up. You just need to change your way. That voice gave me hope. I understood something important. My old way of learning was not working. I was focusing too much on grammar and memorizing. I was not using English in real life. I was not listening or speaking enough. That was why I failed. I realized that I needed a new dream. Not just to study English, but to use English. I wanted to speak English in real conversations. I wanted to think in English, not just translate from my native language. I wanted to feel free when I spoke, not scared. That failure in the classroom was painful, but it taught me a lesson. It showed me what not to do. It opened my eyes. From that day, I decided to stop learning English the old way. I would start fresh. I would learn English the way children learn, by listening, repeating, and speaking every day. My dream did not fail. It just changed. And now I was ready to follow a new dream, a dream where I could speak English with joy, with confidence, and with freedom. That failure was not the end. It was just the beginning. Chapter 3. A Promise to Myself. After failing to speak in class, I felt broken. But I didn't want to stay that way. I knew I had to change. I had to stop feeling sad and start doing something real. That evening, I took a walk alone. I didn't take my phone. I just walked and thought. I looked at the sky and said to myself, you are not weak. You are just learning. I knew I needed a new plan, a real plan. But before the plan, I needed something stronger, a promise to myself. I went home, sat at my desk, and opened a new notebook. On the first page, I wrote in big letters, "This is the start of my new English life." Then I wrote a promise to myself. I said, I will practice English every day for 5 months. I will not focus only on grammar. I will listen, speak, read, and write every day. I will not be afraid to make mistakes. I will not stop, even if it gets hard. Writing those words felt powerful. It felt like a contract. But not with anyone else. With myself. I also wrote a list of reasons why I wanted to speak English. I wanted to get a better job. I wanted to speak with people from other countries. I wanted to help my family. I wanted to feel proud of myself. These reasons were important. They gave me energy. They helped me remember why I started. Then I made a plan that was simple and clear. Each day I would spend 1 hour listening to English. It could be podcasts, stories, or YouTube videos. I would listen with subtitles first, then without. I would also try to repeat what I heard. I called this shadowing. I would speak with the video like I was talking with a friend. At first, it was hard. My tongue moved slowly. I felt shy, even when I was alone. But I didn't stop. I also promised to talk to myself in English every day. While brushing my teeth, I would say, "Today is Monday. I will go to work. I feel tired but happy." When I walked to the bus stop, I would describe what I saw in English. I see a red car. The man is wearing a blue shirt. These small sentences helped me think in English. I didn't need a teacher. I just needed practice. To keep my promise, I put a calendar on my wall. Every day I practiced, I marked an X in red. I didn't want to break the chain. It made me feel strong. Every red X was proof that I was serious. Sometimes I felt tired. Sometimes I didn't want to practice. But I remembered my promise. I remembered the boy who couldn't speak in class. I didn't want to be that boy again. I wanted to be the person who tried, who failed, but who kept going. This promise was not just about learning English. It was about believing in myself. It was about becoming a new person, someone who never gives up. Every word I learned, every sentence I said was a small step. And with each step, I moved closer to my goal. Chapter 4. The First 15 Days. The first 15 days of my new English journey were not easy, but they were powerful. Every day I followed my plan. I listened to one English video or podcast for 1 hour. I chose easy content at first, children's stories, short English conversations, and English learning channels. I used subtitles at the beginning. When I understood better, I turned them off. This helped me improve my listening quickly. I also practiced speaking by shadowing. This means I listened to the speaker and repeated what they said at the same time. I tried to copy their voice, tone, and speed. At first it felt strange. I made many mistakes. But every time I repeated, I got better. I could feel my mouth getting used to the new sounds. I talked to myself too. In the morning, I said things like, "I am brushing